Hey guys, you would not believe it. I just made a whole video and it took 9 whole minutes, and I did details and was super excited and went back to preview the video that I was going to send out to y'all, and no sound. No sound whatsoever. So we have to start over. So this is the second time that I'm doing the exact same video, but I wanted to make sure you could hear me because what's the point, right? So let's take two. I was asked by some students to do a video over mean and MAD, that some people are still having trouble with that and you need a refresher, or you need me to slow down because sometimes I'm a little fast in class, I understand. So this is what these videos are for. So let's talk about your mean and MAD. Now do not get confused. Your mean and your MAD are not your two measures of center. Your mean is a measure of center because that's how Miss Buckle finds your grades. I add up all of your grades and divide by how many there are, and that's your average. That's why it's a measure of center, because it's about the middle of all your grades, right? Mean is a measure of center. MAD, however, even though they kind of go together, MAD is a measure of variability because it measures distance and range. It kind of measures the distance of your mean of all the numbers, and you'll see. But just make sure you know that MAD is not a measure of center. All right, let's get started with mean. So we have 5 numbers here. Let's pretend like these are your 5 grades. I only have 5 grades for you, and these are the grades that you have. So we have 5 data values. To find your mean, we need to add all of these numbers up in the calculator, add them all up, and divide by how many there are. So if we hit 74 plus 74 plus 76 plus 80 plus 81, we would have gotten a sum, which is adding up all your numbers, a sum of, I believe that was 385. I did it last video. Let me do it again. 74 plus 74 plus 76 plus 80 plus 81. 385, yes. 385 is your sum. Now we've got to divide 385 by how many numbers? We got to divide 385 by 5. Your mean then is a 77. That is your mean. Finding your mean is the first step in finding your MAD, the mean absolute deviation. So that's your very first step. So we did that. So let's write down what MAD stands for. MAD. The very first step to finding your MAD is finding your mean. The first word means mean, and you got to find that first, okay? So find the mean first. Second is absolute. The word absolute, if you remember from absolute value, is distance. It measures the distance from 0. Absolute is never negative. It's not going to be negative here either. So absolute means distance, and that's your second step. The word deviation is last. That just kind of means to stray away from the middle, or to stray away from your path. We don't need to know that. So find the mean first. We did. And then find the distance, that's second, the distance of the mean from each value. So when we found the mean, now we've got to second step, absolute, find the distance. This is how you find your MAD. So look at 77 and 74. What's the distance or the difference in between 77 and 74? The distance is 3. So you write down the distance. 74 again, you would write down another 3. The distance between 77 and 76 is 1. You write that down. The distance in between 77 and 80, even though you might think 77 minus 80 gives me a negative, there's never a negative when you're talking about distance. They're just 3 units apart. So that's another 3. And then 77 to 81, those are 4 units apart. Now we've done the second step. We found our distances. So we have a 3, a 3, a 1, a 3, and a 4. Well, for MAD, you're not done. After you find your distances, we add those up. If you add 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 1 is 7, 7 plus 3 is 10, plus another 4, you get 14. Then, just like your mean, you take the sum of all your distances and divide by how many numbers there are. You should have the same numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 14 divided by 5 is how you find your MAD. If you type it in a calculator, 14 first. See if I can do a calculator. Look at this old fat one. 14, can you see it? Probably not. Divided by 5 should have given you 2.8. And that is your MAD. 14 divided by 5, the MAD is 2.8. And that's easy peasy. That's how you find your MAD. So, mean and MAD. Know it for next week. I made this little sign so that you understand that your measures of center, that's your averages or your 50%, the middle of the road. Measures of center are mean, that's adding up all the numbers and dividing by how many numbers there are. And your median, which is least to greatest, putting your numbers in order from least greatest and crossing them out till you find your 50% mark or your halfway point. Measures of variability, that measures distance. Remember, greater variability, that means they're really, really spread out, is going to have a lower consistency. Consistency means the numbers are all together or close together, consistent. Your measures of variability are IQR, interquartile range, that's your Q3 minus your Q1, and then MAD, which we just learned, mean absolute deviation. You'll need to know these for that milestone. All right, hopefully this video worked out good. If you guys can think of another topic that you want me to make a video on that's going to help you with the milestones, I'm here for you. I'm yours. This is my job. This is what I've chosen and what I love, and I want to see you succeed because I just care about you so much. All right? So if you need me, let me know what I can slowly go over on a marker board with you, and I will do it for you. All right? Proud of y'all.